trying to bail them out.
With an illegal hands to the face penalty. I mean, the Lions, in the last few years, we have seen 4 illegal hands to the face penalties that have turned out to be critical in Lions-Green Bay games. One kept the drive alive on the Hail Mary game.
Yeah.
Another with the Mason Crosby field goal to beat the Lions on Sunday or Monday night. It was 2 illegal hands to the face penalties on Trey Flowers. Yeah. Last night, the Lions had Kirby Joseph with his first interception. That was erased because of an illegal hands to the face, which you can sit here and tell me it was. He was getting double-teamed, and when the second guy came in, the hand rode up. But I just think that's the Green Bay special. Well, if something goes wrong, it's illegal hands to the face time.
Out of the 4 plays you cited, that was the one that his hand literally touched the face mask of the other player. The other 3 did not, and they were all called as hands to the face. However, in the same breath, though, I can say that the Lions luck, another example where Lions luck changes. Aaron Rodgers got dumped a couple of times after he threw the football on plays that I wouldn't have ever thought was going to be roughing the passer. But we've seen it called roughing the passer, particularly against Aaron Rodgers. Yep. He got dumped. His shoulder pad comes out of the jersey. He's looking up to the official, and there's no flag. I'm just saying, I think things have started to change.
248-539-9797. Let's go to Scott in Clinton Township. Hi, Scott.
Hi. Good morning, guys. How are you?
All right, Scott.
So let's start out. Camp? Most definitely Dan Campbell. Doc? Definitely the ref from
the Seattle game?
Seattle game.
Yeah.
And I have one more for you. When you guys did the bold-ass predictions, I called in and said the Lions would go 9-8, but I also thought they'd be in the playoffs, too.
Well, Scott, we're going to break those out tomorrow. It feels like today's just a what I would call a Lions topic alphabet soup vomit. I mean, we literally can talk about 70 different things as it pertains to this organization if we're just going to let it go. But we will circle back tomorrow and let you know all the people that got the preseason prediction right. But it was a satisfying season, big picture, frustrating in the end because it felt like they are missing out on the last playoff spot to a wholly unworthy team that got every call late in that game, including some bad calls that led directly to points that helped Seattle win that game. But, I mean, what we hope is that the Lions are more a complete team in the future, ideally, and they don't need to rely on anybody else. This team wasn't there. It would have been nice to get that break, but this team wasn't there for 17 games. They were there in the end, but you got to do it over the course of the season to truly earn it and leave it in nobody else's hands. And unfortunately, they needed some help. 248-539-9797. Carrie and Exeter next. Hi, Carrie.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey.
I gotta say that
Not sure.
looking back, that
10:30.
we can't discount the Lions. We did too much of that in the first 8 games. The thing for me was after they lost to Philly in the first game, I was following Philadelphia as their undefeated string kept getting higher and higher and higher. And I said to myself, the Lions ain't that bad. They're really not. And I still think that the number one reason that they came back was the Aidan effect. I think that the Hutchinson approach to football really, really caught fire on that team.
What do you mean by that? What's the effect, or what's his approach?
Well, I think first of all was his work ethic in going into the game. For number 2 draft choice, he didn't come out and say, "Hey, I'm this top guy." He worked hard. He even had to improve his game on the professional level, and his improvement game to game to game was, I think, something to be seen. And I think that caught fire amongst the rest of the team.
Well,
I think there were a lot of guys that
Terry, I got to know him a little bit at Michigan, and he's got the motor, he's got the work ethic, he's got the drive. And I can't say I'm surprised by his success. What I am surprised about, as it pertains to Aidan Hutchinson, is that the Lions took the right guy. And now I'm so satisfied with this draft class. I mean, we'll get into it. But the promise that this draft class has shown could be game-changing. And Aidan Hutchinson is going to be a leader of this defense moving forward. And hopefully we all as a community learn not to call people busts in the first 5 minutes.
I mean, I think there's no question statistically he was the best of the 3 rush ends in this draft that ends up being. I think when you look at their games, they all had really good rookie seasons. Hutchinson's was best. He had the best rookie season of the 3 guys. I think Thibodeau and Walker are both going to be outstanding defensive ends in this league, just like Aidan Hutchinson. So did they get it right? Yeah, they got it right. It helped Jacksonville took Walker, and Hutchinson's there. I liked Hutchinson better than Thibodeau, but all 3 guys are really good. But to your point about what Brad Holmes is able to do, finding players all throughout the draft, getting your other bookend defensive end in the 6th round, after you got your linebacker in the 6th round, there's a lot to like with the youth on this team, and that's why I think in large part why this team is where they're at, because they're so young, because they were moldable, because they were willing to listen to what a coach had to say.
Alandis, you're next here on 97.1 The Ticket. What's up, Alandis?
Hey, can we stop crying about the officiating, okay? Am I in Los Angeles right now? Because this is Sean McVay threw a whole bunch of 4th downs in his own territory and blew that. And then Baker Mayfield just throwing balls up for grabs. My champ, I love young coach Darren Campbell. He told it right. Let us get situated and we will take care of this game. They remind me of a young 49er team. They got a defense. Defense wins around the league. Look at Jacksonville. Look at Detroit and look at the 49ers. For the next 5 years, this thing is going to come down to them. 49ers and the Lions in the NFC Championship game. And one more thing, Philadelphia, you ain't got a chance. We're coming in there and we're going to knock your block off.
Who's we?
Gentlemen.
Who's we?
Yeah, we didn't make the playoffs. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'll say this.
And I don't think our defense is anything like the Niners.
Hey, the Rams certainly had opportunities. I'm frustrated with them not controlling the controllables. There were uncontrollable things that those are the ones that bother me, is because the Rams couldn't control that. We couldn't control it. The people that could control it really strongly looks like they didn't do their job. So, no, we're not going to stop. Look, I reserve complaining about officiating to very rare occasions. Today's one of those days. That was frustrating as hell, with Blandino coming on the air and saying, yeah, they missed that call, they missed that one, and then the other questionable call, he said, tough one. You know, when
that tough one where Jalen Ramsey just stands on the sideline and lets Geno Smith run into him, but he doesn't give any resistance, or he just stood there like a brick wall and kind of threw his shoulder into him as Geno's running into him.
Yep.
I liken that to when you're at a bar and you're a guy at the bar and you know that there's some dude who looks at you wrong and he's walking your way and he's got a beer in his hand, he's going to go to his buddies at the table, and you know that he's going to walk into you. You know he's going to bump you. And what do guys do when they know it's going to happen? They stiffen up. Mm-hmm. So when the guy hits you, you're not going to move. You're not going to give an inch either. That's what that play was. It wasn't unnecessary roughness. If Geno Smith wanted to avoid the contact, all he had to do was step to his left. He didn't.
It was Geno Smith, I don't know if he calculated all this, but he's running down his own sideline with the official right there, puts his arm into Jalen Ramsey, leans into Jalen Ramsey, goes flying.
Right.
And that entire Seattle bench blows up right at the official right there. Do you think he got slightly intimidated and influenced by their reaction?
And by the way, Geno Smith, I don't know how hurt he was, but he took his helmet off. They all gathered around him.
Should have been allowed to play.
Yes, you're supposed to set up one play,
Set him
right?
out.
No?
No.
How about you evaluate him?
Pete Carroll going, he could play, right? Get him back in, right? He's chewing his gum and point. Yeah, you know what?
Chewing his gum and fist bumping people.
Yeah, we don't like depending on other teams to have to win to get in, but this is where we were at, okay? So we're going to complain about
We're not a complete team. We got a long way to go. And in the future, yeah, it's critically important for the Lions to not put it in anybody else's hands. And I suspect they won't next year. But with that said, watching the end of that game and every crucial call, which had direct influence on the outcome of that game, going Seattle's way, was mind-numbingly frustrating. I mean, it was like watching a Lions game for the last 40 years. 97 won the ticket.
NFL Wildcard Weekend is here, and the easiest way to get into the playoffs is with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers, join today to get started with $150 in free bets, absolutely guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. All you got to do, sign up with promo code Jansen. FanDuel has all your favorite bets, from the money line to point spreads to player props. Plus, you even can combine these bets for a chance at a bigger payout with a same-game parlay. And it doesn't matter what you want to build, you can build your own, all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So football fans, don't miss out. Place your first $5 bet to get $150 in free bets, win or lose, with promo code Jansen. Must be 21 or over at present. Michigan first online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
When people have a craving to explore new and traditional Asian cuisines, they head to P.F. Chang's, where scratch-made dishes come from the 2,000-year-old tradition of wok cooking. P.F. Chang's wanted to explore new possibilities for their website. They turned to AmericanEagle.com. AmericanEagle.com re-architected P.F. Chang's website, integrating multiple third-party systems to create a unified digital experience. The results? Improved page speed and performance, personalized content based on users' location, intuitive online ordering, an increase in organic search visibility, and a 40% increase in new users. For scratch-made Asian cuisine, visit your local P.F. Chang's or go to pfchangs.com for website design, development, digital marketing, and hosting that produce efficiency, revenue, and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. P.F. Chang's at AmericanEagle.com. Another example of the best businesses in the world. Turning to the best in the business for websites, go to AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
In zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Alkaline Advanced can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP extended life oil filter for only $38.99. Go farther with better fuel efficiency. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com. AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Today, types of sun and clouds, high of 41.
Weather brought to you by Barbasol Shaving Cream. Choose Barbasol Shaving Cream for a thick lather and close, comfortable shave. Barbasol, the American original for over 100 years. Better buy Barbasol.
The Detroit Red Wings host the Winnipeg Jets. Pregame tomorrow at 6:45 on 97.1 The Ticket.
It's complicated, but at the same time, like, you don't have to stop disrespecting us like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't watch TV. I really don't. And so, and then DC was the one who showed all the clips from people, you know, picking the Packers over us, and you know, because it's a playoff game, or they think the Packers going, you know, everybody picked the Packers. They ain't nobody trusted in us. So that's how I like it, though. I like people to underestimate us and think that we can't do it. You know, we come out here and we show people. So I just love changing people's hearts.
I'll tell you what, I'm not sure anybody's going to underestimate them next year. I mean, are they going to be an incredibly hot pick to win the NFC North? Does the football world really buy into Minnesota?
No, I don't think so. But see what Minnesota does in the playoffs.
We can see what Minnesota does in the playoffs. They're 14-3, and their point differential's -3.
They 14?
I'm sorry, 13-4, and their point differential's -3.
Yeah, well, they won every close game that they got into, which
And
is...
they lost a lot.
Now you got to do it, yeah.
They're undefeated in close games.
It's ridiculous what they did.
They're the worst 13-4 team ever, and I know there's only been 2 seasons of 17 games. So I feel confident saying that right now. But yeah, the Lions are gonna be the pick next year. Get ready for it.
Yeah, and so Jamal, now let's see what happens when you don't have that chip on your shoulder, when everybody's patting you on the back and telling you how great you're going to be.
Another thing I loved about the win last night, the circumstances were fantastic, right? Everybody picking against them. Green Bay's going to win. They're playing at home, all this. But the fact that the Lions, on the last drive, they won the game because they ran the ball. They ran to win. They got enough yards. I mean, it looked like there was nothing to be gained, and all of a sudden Jamal Williams bursts through and turns a 1-yard gain into a 7-yard gain. DeAndre Swift looked like he was left for dead after, having his ankle rolled up and getting forearm shivered to the head. Comes in the game, makes a catch, and turns nothing into